Hey, your customers want to pay you more for professional services? Hey, it's Gary, 3 times head of growth. Today, I'm going to talk to you about selling professional services in product-led growth. So first of all, selling professional services help bump our revenue numbers a little bit. And professional services is interesting that way, but it's also counterintuitive because the concept of product-led growth is to deliver a self-serve experience. So why would we sell professional services? So when we launched back in late 2022, quarter one, we just didn't hit the numbers that we needed. And we were selling a mid-market SOC 2 compliance automation product to startups and SMB, but we rejiggered our product with a self-serve onboarding experience. But our positioning, our messaging, our pricing remained very, very complicated for our customers to understand. So in Q1, it was hard to get customers. In Q2, we were still trying to figure out what is it? What is the signals and the levers? And it wasn't until Q3 that we started to attach professional services as a layer to sell to our customers, and they were willing to buy because of this. And so this professional services layer is basically passing the customer over to our customer success team, and the CS team will then guide them through our software, guide them to achieving compliance. And so we sold a few of these to customers. We felt good. We presented the company and we storytell that, hey, with this PLG motion, we created a faster pipeline of sales because people were using the software. So they saw that the product is free, but they didn't know how to use it. So if we can upsell them with this professional services. And unfortunately, that did not scale at all. And the customer success team could not scale, and they were prioritizing larger customer first, rightfully so. And these smaller customers, these startups and SMB, they actually need more handholding. They have more questions, and they really require more attention. And they weren't paying us much more, so it was a challenge internally. And so we were constantly trying to come up with how do we charge professional services without stretching our CS team? Like, do we have to limit the number of hours we can offer? Would our customers pay after that they used up the success hours? Like, why would they want to keep paying? Like, where's that transition to just using the software themselves? Like, are we delaying the inevitable? So eventually we had to find gaps. We found gaps on how to sell the software only. And we recognized that the PLG customers that were purchasing our professional services, they were purchasing handholding, they were purchasing reassurance because they felt that achieving SOC 2 compliance was too complicated, that the goal that they were trying to set out was way too complicated, and the fact that there is a service and software that is relatively affordable, they are willing to pay to get it done. And that was the gap, that the goal that they were trying to achieve is not achievable through self-service. So that's where the conflict is. So if we were to really lean into PLG motion, we have to dispel that. We have to reset that expectation and understanding. We have to reassure our customers that achieving compliance, achieving their goal is possible. And it's possible because we can give them a roadmap and resources to do it. And that is that scaling of PLG and expansion of that PLGs. So since then, we stopped selling professional services because it wasn't scalable anyway. And we developed self-serve documentation, step-by-step roadmap, created a community, created interactive videos. And in our onboarding calls, and when we talk to our customers up front, we tell them many startups before you, hundreds of startups before you have achieved SOC 2 compliance without handholding. They are doing it by themselves, and here is some testimonials I can show you. These are the progress report I can show you. And if you want to save money, you probably don't want to buy our professional services. It's very expensive. You can get any professional services anywhere. They'll probably be very expensive, or you could just get our step-by-step free guide. And so because they want to try it for themselves, they were eager to move forward with that. And with all the customers that want to do it, and we also understand their urgency, because they're in the product usage data, they were actually making progress on our platform. And because they're actually making progress, that means they are either understanding how to use the product, they overcame that fear of like, oh, it's impossible. And they're using our documentations and our guidance to help them go through it. So this gave us a lot of confidence. It gave us a lot of confidence that PLG self-serve is possible in this industry. And on this path, we can disrupt the incumbent because they are doing a sales-led model. They're selling software and the professional services hand-holding, and they're charging customers a lot of money. And we have an enemy because we have validated it is possible to do self-serve PLG compliance. So the takeaway is, if possible, offer professional service layer first and learn why your customers are willing to pay for this. Is it the emotional aspect of it? Is like what is something that they feel like, hey, they actually need your help in doing? What is the complex area like that they need assistance with? And then shut it down because it's not going to scale. And then cannibalize it by creating self-service materials and like content that address that emotional concern and replace the hand-holding services. Reassure your customer that it is possible with the software alone. You're going to give them a step-by-step roadmap on how to do it, and they will achieve their goal. And that's how you can create this PLG self-serve strategy. Follow me on growthwithgary.com or feel free to subscribe here to learn more about how to execute PLG, lead and operate and launch and be successful in SaaS.